There's been a rise in popularity of The Incredibles online, and it's not for the reason you think it might be. This rise in popularity primarily focuses on one character only, and he's not even part of the main cast of the series. Gammajack, also known as Handsome Jack, was one of the many supers wiped out by Syndrome's Operation Chronos, and many people believe he should have been the main villain and why he is actually a problem, along with other heroes. I'll also be going over what is Operation Chronos, the drama within the supers, and much more, so stay tuned and find out. Gammajack was a superhero back in the day along with the likes of Mr. Incredible, Frozone, Elastigirl, Gazerbeam, and more. With the names such as Handsome Jack, he is favorited by the ladies, to the point where he only prioritizes saving attractive women over other innocent people. He reminds me of Captain Celebrity and My Hero Academia Vigilantes, both very similar in character designs and behavior. Captain Celebrity is a powerful hero, but he prioritizes fame and attractive women over other innocent people, and that was such a problem for him that he had to move from America to Japan to avoid the scandals he was facing back in the US. Not only is he eager to attract beautiful women, but he also refuses to fight or finds it very hard to fight against female supervillains, making his morality conditional and heavily biased.
Yeah, I've fought my fair share of villains, and they all have their own unique challenges. You know, they got their zombie monkeys and their giant laser robots and their super aquatic ninja pygmies. But I tell you, once in a while, the real kicker is I get these dames, man, these dame villains, and they got the curves and the hair and the big eyes, and boy, those ones they're really, really hard to kill. You know, especially the ones that they come up and, you know, and they're looking at you and you're looking at them and you feel that simpatico, you know, like she's digging you and you're digging her, digging you, and boy, you really got to take a jog around the block real quick and, you know, sort of get your concentration back, compose yourself, because, you know, you can't get distracted by these sort of thoughts when you're going up against a super villain. That's one of the hard parts of the jobs, you know, when you come across a dame who's really something to look at, and you just got to let her have it because she's a villain. Yeah, those are the bad days.
Gammajack is also a powerful hero. He can fly, leaving behind a green gamma trail, and it has a superpower called Radiation Burst. This means he can create controlled bursts of radiation, from burns up to disintegration. Think of his powers like Firestorm from DC, who can manipulate control radioactive energy. But make no mistake, he's not just a pretty face with a bad attitude. Gammajack is dangerous. According to Operation Chronos database, he had a threat rating of 7.9, the second highest of all supers, just behind Mr. Incredible. That means Syndrome considered him a top threat. He was able to destroy an Omnidroid version 5 specifically, before getting taken out by the next one in line. To top it all off, he has a superior-like complex, a huge ego. He believed that supers were the superior race compared to humans, and that is very concerning that the NSA puts him at a close A-level monitoring as a result, fearing he's very likely to turn rogue. With all these stats behind his back, what went wrong? To give a fresh reminder of what happened in the first Incredibles movie, after many years of heroes being banned from the public eye, Mr. Incredible is stuck at a boring desk job and misses the golden days of being a hero. Plus, he is also out of shape. He goes out with Frozone, a close friend and hero he worked with back in the golden days, and secretly do hero work, until he was spotted by Mirage, who she was originally looking for Frozone until she noticed that the fat man with him was Mr. Incredible, a hero that Syndrome admired growing up and pretty much started his villain journey and ending hero so he could be the only hero the world can have. With a much bigger prize than Frozone, Mirage lures Mr. Incredible into working for their company doing proper hero work, like the good old days, to which then they would get sent to an island where they can attempt to eliminate the heroes. At times the plan would fail, but they would send a stronger version of the Omnidroid to counter the hero's powers that they couldn't beat before. An example would be when the first 3 heroes was eliminated by the first Omnidroid. Macroburst, who was next in line to be eliminated, defeated the Omnidroid with their airbending type powers, to which version 2 is upgraded from having 2 wheels to 2 mobile legs and other various upgrades to counter Macroburst, and the threat rating was scaled at a 5.9, higher than the last hero who was eliminated, Everseer, who was at a 3.2. And a quick fun fact, Macroburst used to be a sidekick for Everseer, and their original name was called the Kid, before changing the name and was also part of a group called the Phantasmics. So back to Gammajack, we can only assume Gammajack was another victim of missing the golden days and was easily swayed by Mirage because of his affection for beautiful women, so he would follow her and getting to the island just to be set up, but it wasn't easy as they thought. At this point the Omnidroid is at version 5, with tons of upgrades, having a more spear-like shape, which we're not quite there yet, 4 legs with grappling claws, but was ultimately taken out by Gammajack. If you're wondering why the heroes didn't flee from the island or escape when they defeated the Omnidroid, they were under the pretense that this was just some top secret military project that needed to be shut down. So when a super beats an Omnidroid, Syndrome would find the flaw the Omnidroid had and use the downloaded information from the battle and upgrade it to fix that mistake and take down the super, which they did to Gammajack. Mr. Incredible, who he luckily got away, and other heroes that successfully beat an Omnidroid, was ultimately overpowered by the next one. The last hero we saw in the hero file scene was Gammajack, who defeated Omnidroid 5, but was ultimately taken out by 6. But Mr. Incredible had to face version 8. Somewhere between version 6 and 7 is unknown. Maybe more heroes were eliminated that we didn't get to see on screen, or perhaps upgrades were made along the way before we got to Mr. Incredible. We'll never know. But what is Operation Chronos exactly? Operation Chronos was a plan made by Syndrome to kill all supers, but it was disguised as a top secret military project, so he would hire any active or retired supers to use them as data to improve the Omnidroid to the point where no supers can beat it and only Syndrome can, so he could be the only superhero to exist. Operation Kronos references the Greek titan Kronos. If you know this tale, Kronos ate all of his children who are gods to prevent a prophecy from happening where his children would be the reasoning of Kronos' eventual downfall. Zeus, one of Kronos' children, was hidden away and led a rebellion against Kronos, killing him in the end and freeing his siblings and fulfilling the prophecy. Like the operation, Kronos, aka the Omnidroid, killed off so many superheroes playing the role of gods, and Syndrome would play as the role of Zeus to be the one to eliminate the Titan and to be the only god that exists on Earth. Speaking of comparing superheroes to gods, Gammajack, like I've said, believe that supers are a superior race to humans, and people online compare that ideology to Homelander, which I can see why. He's a picky eater, prone to tyrannical megalomaniacal impulses. He had to go. But he's not the only hero with alarming issues. Hypersshock, an earthquake-type hero, has bad anger issues, and is an alcoholic. You can hear that in the interview demanding for coffee with some aspirin to deal with a hangover.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Hypersshock. So I have seismic wave generation, which is the ability to create earthquake-like disruptions in the ground and stop the bad guys with my dual seismic amplification hammers on one on each hand. No, I did not buy them at the hardware store, haha. Fly around with my vector thrust fusion rocket rucksack getting from place to place, and my powers are ineffectual and non-solid materials, but if I can get a 6.0 on the Richter scale, I can generally stop whoever's out there and... we gotta talk about this. Hang on. Hey, Irv. Hey. Where's Irv? Coffee. Yes, hello. I need some coffee. Very nice. No, I don't want tea. I want coffee, and put some aspirin in it or something. How about coffee made from aspirin? You know, you people, you just don't do your homework. And look at this. What is this? Cheap. Spend a little money on your gear if you're going to have a super in here, okay? And you, who are you? You know, I could be out solving crime. At the very least, we're solving this hangover. Ow! Oh.
Psychwave, she has the ability to control other people's mind. In the interview, she explains that she uses this ability to do whatever she wants, breaking up boyfriends with her girlfriends so she can get with them. She even did that to her own best friend.
So in high school, that's when I realized I had the ability to possess other people, to send psychic waves to other people to get them to do things that I really wanted them to do. I had a crush on the quarterback of the football team who was also my best friend's boyfriend. I psych-waved him into asking me to the homecoming dance and breaking up with Shelly. And the more I practiced it, the shorter amount of time it took. You know, I could just sort of look at someone or look at a picture or see them passing by and think this thought or this action or whatever, and it would just happen. Never really used it to harm people, except for all those girls I made the guys break up with because I wanted to date them. Kind of freaky, actually.
These are the heroes with major problems. The other heroes have their own nitpicks, from not controlling their emotions to relationship problems within the superhero team, such as Frozone, Blaystone, and Downburst. Frozone and Blaystone are speculated to have a romantic relationship. Her powers deal with fire, so that makes the relationship hot and cold. Downburst, on the other hand, has an unrequited crush to Blaystone and dislikes Frozone, and it's best not to mention that in the conversation with him. Universal Man has low self-esteem, specifically with his secret identity, because he wants his public hero identity to be his only identity, which causes him to be the first victim of Operation Kronos, which if you look at his stats and powers, he has max indestructibility, manipulating his own molecular density from gaseous to near black hole. I'm a little confused how he's defeated this early on, or even ever. The common conclusion people have is that he was just caught off guard, so he wasn't able to transform. So if you combine the public newspapers they show early on in the movie, supers causing more public damage, endangering public safety, or even peeping toms, and the personality of a lot of supers such as Gammajack, the US government might perhaps helped out Syndrome with Operation Kronos, funding the project to be even more sure that supers is gone for good. It's all speculation, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. To summarize this all up, Gammajack had to go. Supers in general are very egotistical, but also not all of them are bad. I mean, you got Gazerbeam, who works as a pro bono lawyer. If you don't know what that means, he's providing professional voluntary work as a lawyer for free for those in need. He's basically Daredevil. Thunderhead adopted 5 children as a single father. Anyways, if you guys enjoy the breakdown of Gammajack's along with his involvement with Operation Kronos, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.